Guys, and welcome to my channel. So if you're new here, my name is Deacon and I am a vlogger living in Istanbul. So I have gotten a couple of questions from you guys that are interested in probably visiting or living in Istanbul, asking me about racism in Istanbul, what it is like over here. So I have gotten a good number of those questions, so I decided to film this video today and let you guys know what the situation is here. So, is there racism in Istanbul, or is there a lot of racism in Istanbul? We're gonna go right into that and find out.
That's good.
So first, before I get into the video, let me mention that this type of videos, I notice that whenever I make this type of videos on this channel, it usually bothers a certain group of people, and then sometimes I get like hate comments and all that, like go back to your country and blah blah blah, you know, like those kind of comments. But I really don't care. I have decided to put out content from Istanbul from my own perspective. So if the information that I put out there from my experience bothers you, then I really cannot help you. This is my experience and I'm going to share with any other person that cares to know more about this environment. It might be helping someone out there. That's why I'm on YouTube. So I am going to share either ways. If it makes you uncomfortable, I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. So, are Turkish people nice? Are Turkish people racist? In this video, I'm going to share instances where I experienced some certain form of behavior and all that. But before I go into that, let me also share like my experience here with Turkish people in general. First, I'm going to share my good experiences before I go into like the other ones. In general, if I'm going to be honest, I would say that Turkish people are generally nice, to be honest, because I have gone out a certain time. I have experienced some kind of love and kindness a couple of times, and I'm not going to rule that out for any reason or sit down here and lie that they are not nice or whatever. Even though I've had some other experiences, I've also had some really nice experiences that I really felt good and not appreciated, but like I felt good and valuable, you know. So yeah, okay, let me share this incident where I was traveling. Okay, I had left Istanbul, so I was coming back and it was really late at night, and I was coming back with all these bags, like 3 big bags that I couldn't carry myself, and then like from the journey from the airport to my house was going to be a bit of a hassle. But then things were easy for me because like as I was getting my bags into the taxi, I used the bus from the airport, and then there was like a lot of help in the airport, like people helping me, trying to get me in front of the line because I was alone with like all these big bags. And these people that were trying to help me were basically Turkish people. They helped me put my bags in the bus, and when I got to my destination, some other people were there who helped me put my bags in the taxi. And then when I got to my house, I was trying to like drag these big boxes upstairs, and definitely there was someone down there. I would never forget that experience. There was this guy down there that he was just passing to his own apartment, and then he saw me struggling with these bags. This guy literally stopped to help me, and then he did not just help me with like 1 bag or 2 bags. He refused to let me touch any of the bags. He literally dragged my bags inside the elevator and brought it upstairs to me. It was such a relieving experience. But then even though the person was a stranger and I was a little scared of letting someone into my house and all, when we got upstairs, he just left my bags at the door, and then he asked if I was okay, and I said yes, and he just left. He just went his way. And I wouldn't lie to you, those bags were so huge, and for that guy to help me like that, that was such a thoughtful. I don't know if you ever get to watch or see my video maybe 10 years from now, but I really appreciate you. Thank you so much for that experience. And then again, some other things, like if I'm out there at the market and maybe I've lost my way or something, just something, there's usually like a helping hand or something, or just some kind of generosity or niceness, just something. Like they are very welcoming and very receptive in some way. And I've also found that the people that are receptive and generous in a way are usually like the older people, or not necessarily old, but like the advanced people that have probably seen life. And yeah, so I've had a couple of those experiences. There's actually a lot of nice experiences that I've had. But yeah, so let's go into the racism part. Is there racism in Istanbul, Turkey? Let's find out. So I have had a couple of racist experiences, but generally as a person, I sort of block bad experiences out. Like that's just how my head works. Like after I've experienced something bad, I sort of block it out, that I can get to like forget totally about the situation. So I think I've forgotten a couple of them. I have definitely forgotten a lot of them, but I know I've had some racist experiences, things that really threw me off balance and all that. Even back when I was in Cyprus, which is pretty much occupied by Turkish people, I've had like a couple of racist experiences with like landlords, with like people in general, Turkish people in general. But yeah, now I'm going to share with you guys the ones that I can recently remember, and that's because this one just happened recently. Okay, let me point out that if you are black, there is a possibility of experiencing racism to some certain extent. And if you're black and you're on the very dark spectrum of life, like your skin color, like there's like different tones of black, and for my skin tone, I can be considered a bit light skinned, so you can get to experience some kind of racism according to the degree of melanin in your skin tone. Yes, that happens. So yeah, let me just share this experience that me and my friend had recently, and this is during this COVID-19 issue and la. So this is like the most recent thing that we've faced so far. So first of all, we went into a shop to get something, and obviously it's a time where everyone is like careful for their lives and everything, watching out for themselves. So everyone is wearing a mask, gloves and all that. So we went into this grocery store to get some things for ourselves, and we walked in and everybody was shopping. Of course, you have to like keep your distance and not get close to people too much. So of course we were observing that as well, because of course we like our lives too. So I walked past this lady and I noticed this lady jumped up, like she jumped like she had seen a ghost. So she just jumped up and shifted, and like she acted so weird. I was wondering what happened, because there were like other people in the shop and they weren't jumping like that. Okay, so she just really jumped, and then I was really confused, but then I did not want to pay attention to that, and I just passed. I went on with my shopping and all, and then like I had walked back to like where my friend was, and then somehow this lady was close to that place again. And then the next thing, like my friend walked next to her, and the next, we weren't even so close to her. I promise you, we weren't so close to her. We are all practicing social distancing, and like we don't even want to get close to you in the first place, you know. And then this lady, like my friend, got somehow close, but not close, you know. And then she just jumped up again, like, and like she was like, she sort of like really wanted to avoid us. And I noticed she walked close to like other people, and she did not act that way. She was just basically acting that way with us. My friend was now really irritated, and she was like, what just happened? Why is she acting that way and all? Like she got really upset and was like, what's going on? Why did she treat us that way and all? But then like it was an obvious. Now, don't come at me at this video and be like, she was trying to care for herself and blah, 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 social distancing, blah, blah, blah. I know what I faced. Don't come telling me how I should have felt in that situation, or don't come telling me that she was trying to do this and that. I know what happened there. I saw for myself. It was extreme. It was definitely extreme. So yeah, that was like the experience that we had so far. One thing that I did notice from that experience is that she wasn't doing that with like other white people that were there, other Turkish people that were shopping there. She was basically doing that with just us. And even a couple of people there were like a little surprised, and they looked like what was going on and all that. So yeah, this just goes to show that even if I earlier mentioned that they are nice, receptive and welcoming and all, everybody can be good. There's usually some couple of bad eggs in every environment. So even if they are nice, receptive and loving people, there would definitely be people that are racist. There would definitely be people like the ones on this YouTube that keep on telling me to go back to my country and blah blah blah. You are racist. Yeah, there's a couple of bad eggs like that are racist. And yeah, also there's this experience that we always have, like Turkish people stare a lot, and like sometimes when you walk into some places you notice like these very obvious and odd stares. And now it's not the kind of stare that, oh, I'm curious, I'm trying to see who you are, or I'm curious about your skin color, I'm curious about your hair or anything. It's the kind of stare that is like, okay, what are you doing here, you peasant? What are you doing here? You know? So I'm probably being dramatic, but it's just like a very obvious kind of odd look, like you're not supposed to be here, you know. So yeah, and when you get stares like that, you sort of get uncomfortable. And I wouldn't even lie, even though I've experienced some sort of racism, I wouldn't even lie, my friends with like darker skin tone, or people that I know with like darker skin tones, have definitely told me more stories of racism than I have experienced. So that's why I have somehow concluded that the darker you are on the skin tone spectrum is probably directly proportional to the racism you might face. So yeah, that's it. So if you want to know if there is like racism in Istanbul, of Of course, like every other environment, there is racism. But then the degree of racism, is it extreme? I don't think it's extreme, but you're definitely going to get some. And honestly, people's experiences are going to be different. This is what I'm talking about. Someone else might have a different story, or someone else might not even have a story on racism. So yeah, that's just it for this video. That's the story time that I have. That's my opinion. Thank you so much for watching. Please, if you're new here, subscribe to my channel if you want more content from Istanbul. And yes, I also vlog on this channel. Please check out my vlogs if you want to see more of Istanbul. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Follow me on Instagram, and I will see you in my next video. Mwah.